Alright guys, so here's the review of the San Martin SN0044-G-B. So this is one of their more original designs again. So we're not going to be messing about with this, we're just going to be getting straight down into it. So I'll pop the watch to one side for a second, briefly show you the packaging in passing. And it's the one they use on most of their newer watches now. And here it is. So I've got the blue dial version here, which I do think looks really good. But if you're not keen on this, they do actually do a silver one as well. But before we get into any more detail, let's go over the dimensions first. So it's actually listed as a diameter of 38.8, but I'm measuring it at 39, so slightly bigger, but not by much. Then we've got 12mm thickness, 20mm lug width, then the all-important lug to lug is coming in at 46.5. In terms of weight on the supplied bracelet, it's coming in at about 150 with all the links included. And then size for my 7-inch wrist, it's coming in at about 141 grams. And if you haven't seen this bracelet before, it is a really nice one. So we'll take a look at that first. In fact, we'll start with the clasp first, then we'll get onto that. So we've got the San Martin hexagonal logo there, which is applied. Then we've got some nice polished chamfer details on the edge. And you can see we don't have any micro adjust. And that's because this has got the on-the-fly adjustable clasp that you get with some of the newer San Martins, which I do really like. Works really well. So we'll just get a zoom in, take a closer look at that. You've probably already seen this before because I've shown it in a few other videos. So you just push that button, and then you can slide the bracelet in and out, and you get a decent amount of adjustment there as well. And it works really easily, smoothly. No issues whatsoever. It's difficult to go back to watches that don't have this once you've tried them out. Now moving on to the bracelet, you can see we've got screw links there, which again, definitely my preferred method. And you can see we've got these really nice, interesting links. So I've called these chainmail links previously, because they're not beaterized, they've got more of an angular finish, and they just look more like chainmail. So when it comes to the finishing on the bracelet, it's fully brushed, nothing polished at all. Nicely done, as you'd expect, like a satin finish. Same with the case, fully brushed again. And again, nicely done. The only polished section is the little chamfer detail on the edge. And then we've got those nice female end links there. So keeps that lug to lug down. Nice bit of curvature to the case as well. Then flicking around to the other side, we can see you've got the crown there with the nice integrated crown guards. Again, really nicely finished. Then you can also see we've got that nice coin edge bezel as well, and that flat crystal. We'll be checking in a bit if that is sapphire. Oh, forgot to show you the case back. So it's sterile, but it is screwed down. But now let's move on to the dial. Start talking about that in a bit more detail. So it's an enamel dial, which I do really like, and it is also sunburst as well, which looks great. But as I say, if you're not keen on this blue one, they do a silver one as well, which again I think is sunburst. So we've got applied indices, but a printed logo, and then the only other text on the dial is automatic, and then the water resistance 200 meters underneath that. Then we've got the printed minute track around the outside. In terms of the hands, we've got a nice high polish on them, and then that second hand in orange on this one. I think the silver one has actually got a different colour. So if you want to see that one, just click the link in the description and you can see more details on what that one looks like. Got nice proportions on all of them though. And again, really nice polished finish on the edges, matching the indices. When it comes to the bezel, it is actually ceramic. I initially thought it was steel. And we've actually got colour on this blue version, so the numbers are actually in blue as well, matching the dial colour. On the silver version, I think they're in black or grey or something. Again, check the link in the description. And now we're zoomed in, you can see we've got a nice polished detail on the edge of that bezel as well. So again, just catching the light, just adding a bit more interest. Do you like that? Then we've got that loom pip up at the top, inlaid into that bezel as well. So it doesn't protrude, so you won't have to worry about knocking it off or anything. So we'll get a quick zoom out and then I'll show you the bezel in action. So it's a 120 click bezel. Nice clicky action on it. No backplay at all. So, no issues. When it comes to the alignment, that's spot on as well. So again, no issues there either. So, we know we've got a flat crystal on this, but we don't know if it's sapphire or mineral just yet. So let's check that out now. Using the trusty diamond selector tool. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. So again, always good to see. And kind of expected with San Martins now as well. So let's check out the movement now, and as you've probably guessed, yep, we've got another NH35. So if we unscrew the crown, which is really easy to use despite having the integrated crown guards, popping out to the first position, we have actually got a ghost date on this unfortunately because it's the NH35. So it would have been nice if we'd had the date down at the 6 personally, I would have liked that, or just go with the NH38, the no date version. So pop it out to the second position, second hand stops if you've got hacking, then we can just change the time. Then pop it back in. second hand re-engages, and then we've got hand winding. All works well, as you'd expect with the NH35, and then we can just screw that back down. Again, still nice and easy to access despite having the crown guards there. So again, the only real issue I've got with this is the fact that we've got that ghost date. Would have been nice, as I say, to have the date down at the 6 and maybe even colour match it. That'd be quite nice. Or just go with the NH38 if you're going to go for no date version. This is something I'd like to see San Martin start doing. So you're probably wondering now, is the loom up to San Martin's usual standards? Let's check it out and find out. So we've got a little bit there already, but we'll charge it up, give it a proper chance. And there we go. So as you can see, we've got the nice ice blue colour of BGW9, and it's looking really good as well. Consistent across the hands and the indices, no patchiness at all. And then we've also got that loom pip up at the top. We've even got that lollipop on the second hand loomed as well, which is a nice touch. And there's that much loom that you can see it kind of reflecting off the inside of the crystal. So it almost looks like there's markers around the outside as well, just on the outside of those indices. So again, really good loom, as you've come to expect from San Martin. But the question is, what's the longevity on it like? So I'll put this down, speed it up for a bit, and we'll do a bit of a time lapse and find out. So it's looking pretty good initially. And then, as you'll see, even over this, I think it did about 5, maybe 6, 7 minutes, something like that. It fades a little bit, but not as much as you'd think. And it's still consistent across the hands and the indices. And that loom pip is also hanging in there as well. So, as we come to expect with San Martin, really good loom. So, as you can see, it's shaping up to be a pretty nice overall package. But before you make up your mind whether you want to pick one up or not, you probably see what it's like on wrist. And then we'll also go over the pros and cons as well. So, we'll do that now. So, here it is on my 7-inch wrist. And I think it looks really good. Despite it being fully brushed, bracelet and case, we've got a couple of little polished details which just help catch the light, as well as those polished surrounds on the indices and the hands. And obviously I just really love this kind of bracelet. I've got a few of these now with this bracelet and I do really like it. I think I actually prefer it to the beads of rice ones. When it comes to the clasp, you get the perfect fit because we've got that on the fly just. So that is really good. You've got that interesting steel look bezel, but it is actually ceramic, which is quite cool. It fits really nicely on wrist as well, with that compact lug to lug with those female end links and the curved lugs. In terms of issues, the only real one I have is that date, or lack of. Would have liked to see it down at the 6 personally with a colour match date wheel, or again, just use the NH38 if you're going to go for the no date dial. This is the only real issue that some San Martin watches are starting to have, I think. I think a lot of people are starting to get a little bit bored with the NH35. They want to see different movements in their watches, because everything else is top notch. So perhaps they could start mixing up a bit. I'd personally like to see a San Martin watch with a Miyota 9000 movement. I think that'd be quite good. So they could get the high beat in there and also have a slightly slimmer case maybe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. But anyway, other than that, I'd definitely recommend this watch. I think it's a cracking piece. And as I say, that is the only real issue I have. We've got the on-the-fly adjustable clasp, we've got that enamel sunburst dial, we've got that really good bracelet with the chainmail style. Excellent finishing throughout. Nice bezel action, great loom. It is just the movement might be a little bit of an issue for some people, as the prices with San Martin start going up. Perhaps they could even offer different options for movements, so you can choose. So if you are still interested in picking one of these up, link is down in the description as always. That is an affiliate link, it does help support the channel, but you don't pay any extra. But that's it for this one guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.